Here are the 3 biggest fat loss mistakes that most guys typically make. And honestly, this is not rocket science by any means. This is the easiest thing to correct. So fingers crossed, if you're listening to this podcast or watching this YouTube video, you're not making these same mistakes. Because at the end of the day, who doesn't want to lose body fat? This is what's going to help you have more energy. It's going to help you, obviously, with more confidence, more self-esteem, but most importantly, longevity here. Nobody wants to be a liability to their family. Nobody wants to be overweight, unhealthy, lazy, lethargic the rest of their lives on all these medications. No, right? Everybody wants to be an asset. So please, 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 and I can't stress this enough, make sure you are not making these mistakes, okay? Number 1, way too much cardio, okay? And at the end of the day, I talk about cardio in several different episodes, going over the difference between like low intensity steady state cardio, moderate intensity steady state cardio, and then HIIT, high interval training, right? When it comes to cardio, there's so many different aspects, right? And it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, what you just need to understand is this, okay? Cardio does not help you build muscle. Cardio is just a tool to help you burn calories, to stay within a calorie deficit. That is all. I promise you this, okay? If you want to learn how to build muscle, you need to be focusing on putting stress and resistance on your muscles. Maybe that's working out at the gym, or maybe that's working out at home with or without equipment. It's completely entirely up to you. But one thing's for sure, you are not going to build muscle by just doing cardio, okay? It's just a tool to, once again, help you stay within that calorie deficit, okay? As far as how much cardio should someone be doing, because you just heard me say way too much cardio. Well, think about it like this. Guys think, oh, I just need to run, right? And I'll get in the best shape of my life. No, you will run that muscle right off your body and you will be skinny fat. That's the reality, okay? So when it comes down to a good, time frame or duration of cardio, keep it simple, right? Anywhere from 100 to 150 minutes per week. That is a really good sweet spot. And as far as like what is the best type of cardio to do, it's completely entirely up to you. I myself, as well as most of our members, we like to just focus on a step goal and just walk. That's it. At the end of the day, sure, running or swimming or doing some, crazy HIIT interval training is obviously going to burn more calories in that time frame of doing that set exercise or workout, right? But you also have to look in terms of longevity, consistency, sustainability, what's more enjoyable, and also recovery, which is super important that people always forget about. If let's just say you're doing all this HIIT interval training and you're having a horrible time of recovering, you're sore, whatever the case may be, or you're just eating back all those calories because you feel like you earned it, guess what? You're not doing anything different here. You're nobody special. So it might as well just be a little bit easier if you do something that you enjoy doing that's also going to be sustainable, right? For me personally, walking. Give myself a 10,000 step goal each and every day. I try my best to hit those numbers. Some days I'm good, some days I'm not. Hey, at the end of the day, as long as I keep on striving in the right direction, I will have success long term, and you will too. The second thing, okay, and this is very important, okay, is not eating enough. Everybody thinks that they got, this portion control problem. That's not the case at all. Trust me, because guys that tell me they have portion control problems, right, are the same guys that have a very hard time eating so much food and eating so much protein in our coaching program. They're like, oh, this is so much food, right? Like, I'm stuffed, I'm feeling full, I'm bloated. How's this going to make me lose weight? So that right there just proves to you, right, that if you can't even eat in a healthy deficit, your issue was not portion control, what made you fat. What made you fat was the fact that you weren't actually eating enough of the right foods and you have a slow metabolism. The best way to think about this is grab a little glass, right, and just start putting some water in it. And understand that the middle of the glass, okay, anything below that to the bottom of the glass to the middle, that's your calorie deficit. Anything at that middle range, that's your calorie maintenance. Anything above that is a calorie surplus. Now the problem lies is when you put way too much water in, aka calories, into that glass and it overflows, guess what? You're storing body fat. But the issue is, my friends, is that when you have that glass and you're not putting enough of the calories in, you're not even at that deficit. You're way below. And when your body does not get in enough of the right foods, guess what? It's going to lose its muscle and slow down its metabolism. So stop thinking it's calories in versus calories out. I promise you that is not the issue if you're over 30% body fat. The issue is, one, you don't know how to eat and you need a better mindset. Plain and simple. Think about it like this. A car needs gas to get from point A to point B. Your body is no different. Food equals fuel. And lastly, the third thing is focusing on eating more protein. Like I can't stress that enough. Like that's the biggest thing, hands down, because guys just, for some odd reason, they think they need to eat nothing but salads and like, that's it. Just wholesome, healthy, clean meals. Like, no. That is going to make you just be super strict. You're not going to have enjoyments, obviously. Like, who doesn't want to eat a nice steak? Who doesn't want to have, a nice lobster, some fish? Or who doesn't want to have, some chicken breast and whatnot, right? Like, in this day and age, with how easy it is to consume protein, right? Whether that's whole foods or whether that's processed foods like protein powders, protein bars, whatever the case may be, right? It's so easy, but yet guys struggle with it. You got to understand how protein works. One, it's higher up on the thermic effect of food, meaning the more protein you eat, it's going to take your body more energy to actually break it down. Much more than carbohydrates, much more than fats. So guess what? It's like you're killing two birds with one stone. One, you get to eat, and two, you get to burn more calories as you're eating. The second thing is just the fact of like, it is the building block to putting on muscle, to burning body fat. There are so many benefits to eating more protein in your diet to help you with more than just losing body fat. A lot more benefits. So you're probably wondering like, okay, so what is a good rule of thumb? What is my protein calculation for fat loss or for putting on muscle or whatever the case may be? Understand this, right? Anywhere from 0.8 grams per pound of body weight all the way up to 1.5 grams per pound of body weight. That is going to give you a great protein target to start hitting. We always recommend for our members to really focus on eating at least 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So if you just combine these three things that most likely, like if you just, put awareness to them, like think about it. The first thing is way too much cardio. So, hey, stop doing all the cardio and instead do something that you enjoy doing. Maybe it's just walking, whatever the case may be, and, focus more on lifting weights. Guess what? You're going to see better results. The second thing is make sure you're eating enough of the right foods. Obviously, staying within that calorie deficit if your goal is to burn body fat, but once again, making sure that you're eating enough of the right foods to make sure that you're actually burning body fat and instead storing it. Guess what? That's number 2. And lastly, hey, when it comes to eating the right amount of foods, right? Focus a good amount of that chunk being protein. Fill in the rest with carbs, fill in the rest with fats. It does not matter if you're high carb, low carb, high fat, low fat. It doesn't matter. We always coach and teach our members, right, on sustainability and what is the easiest way to see the results. And by far, if you just focus on, doing the simple things that we just talked about, doing more strength training rather than cardio, eating plenty of foods, and that foods that you're eating, you're just really focusing on the, the protein. So calories and protein. If you can do that, you're going to see results. The problem mainly lies is that most people want to see a quick win, right? And I always tell everybody this, is like, hey, if you have a slow metabolism, understand to speed it up. It's going to take anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks of consistency with your training, with your nutrition, everything like that. But at the end of the day, realize this, that you are initially going to go a few steps back, especially if you have not been eating lots of food, lots of protein, haven't been training, because odds are underneath the surface, you might be just looking at the number on the scale. But underneath the surface, you might be putting on muscle. You might be burning body fat and putting on muscle, a whole body recomposition that you didn't even think or understand was going on, was part of the process. So Here, what it lies is most people look at the number on the scale, and it's self-sabotage because they also don't understand that sometimes you got to go a few steps back in order to get 5, 10, 15 steps ahead and where they're trying to get to in their fat loss journey. If you can have a open-minded, right, mindset and, understand that, hey, what you're doing is making you feel better, making you look better, and it doesn't matter about the number on the scale. As long as you stay consistent, you're going to see the results. That's it. I promise you, you will have success. So if you guys enjoyed today's episode, definitely let me know. As always, this has been Coach Joe with Heartletics, and I will talk to you guys next time. Peace out, Girl Scouts.